Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History collectors and coin enthusiasts. Today we're uncovering the story behind one of Canada's most overlooked coins, the 1972 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 1 cent. At first glance, this coin seems like just another penny from the pocket change of decades past. But when you look a little deeper, there's more than meets the eye. We'll explore the coin's historical background, its design, its place in Canadian numismatics, the rarity of high-grade examples, and, most importantly, what this coin is really worth in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this video will give you everything you need to know about this fascinating little piece of history. Let's start with the history. The 1972 Canadian 1 cent coin was minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who had already been featured on Canadian coinage since her coronation in 1953. By 1972, her portrait was well established as part of Canada's currency. The obverse of the coin features a youthful image of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. It was the second portrait used on Canadian coinage during her reign and is instantly recognizable to collectors from around the world. The reverse side displays the classic Canadian maple leaf twig, a timeless symbol of Canadian identity. The design shows two maple leaves joined on a single stem, a motif that's been used on the penny since 1937, created by G. Kruger Gray. The coin is simple, elegant, and patriotic, a staple in the pockets of Canadians for generations. In 1972, more than 450 million 1 cent coins were minted, all produced without a mint mark, which was standard for Canadian pennies at the time. These coins were struck in Ottawa and bear no additional mint signature. At the time, the 1 cent coin was composed of bronze, a durable alloy consisting mainly of copper with traces of tin and zinc. The coin weighs 3.24 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a smooth plain edge. So, on the surface, this coin may not seem rare. But as we'll now see, rarity isn't always about mintage numbers, it's about surviving quality. The 1972 no-mint mark 1 cent coin is not considered rare in the traditional sense because of its high production numbers. However, in the world of numismatics, rarity is a relative concept. A coin can be common overall, but incredibly rare in specific grades or conditions. The vast majority of 1972 cents were circulated, handled, spent, and stored in pockets, purses, and cash drawers. As a result, most of the surviving examples today show noticeable signs of wear, scratches, fading, discoloration, and damage from years of use. What truly sets a 1972 penny apart is its condition. Coins that have never been in circulation, known as uncirculated or mint state coins, are far less common. Even fewer have been preserved in pristine, high-grade condition. Collectors look for coins with brilliant red surfaces, sharp details, and absolutely minimal flaws. The highest valued examples are those that have been professionally graded and certified by third-party grading companies. These coins are evaluated for luster, surface quality, strike sharpness, and overall appearance. A coin graded MS-65 or MS-66, meaning mint state with near-perfect quality, can be worth far more than the same coin in worn condition. And then there are error coins. Occasionally, a coin from the 1972 series may show unique features such as die cracks, off-center strikes, repunched dates, or other minting anomalies. These rare mistakes can greatly increase the coin's desirability and value among collectors. So how can a simple 1 cent coin potentially be worth so much more? There are several factors that contribute to its value. First and foremost is grade. Coins are typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless example. Most circulated 1972 cents fall between grades 5 and 40, meaning they have visible wear. But uncirculated coins graded 60 and above become increasingly scarce, and that scarcity increases their value dramatically. Second is color. Copper coins like the 1972 cent tone over time. Freshly minted coins have a reddish hue. As they age and oxidize, they shift to red-brown or full brown. Collectors value red coins, those that retain at least 95% of their original copper color, more highly than brown ones. So, a 1972 cent graded MS-65 red will fetch significantly more than the same coin in a brown tone. Third, certification and authentication add value. A raw, ungraded coin may sell for a few dollars. But once it's been authenticated and encapsulated by a trusted grading service, its marketability and value rise, especially if the coin is rare in that grade. Fourth, market demand plays a role. Canadian coin collectors, particularly those building full date and grade sets, often seek out high-grade examples of every year. And while 1972 may not be the lowest mintage, it is not easy to find high-grade examples that haven't been mishandled or improperly stored. Let's talk numbers. As of 2025, the market value of a 1972 Canadian 1-cent coin varies widely depending on condition. Coins in heavily circulated condition, those found in everyday change, typically carry minimal value. Most of these trade for between 5 and 25 cents, if they are in decent shape. In bulk, circulated examples are often sold by weight or in rolls, making them cost-effective for new collectors but not particularly rare. In uncirculated condition, values increase. Bright, mint state coins without certification can sell for between $1 and $5 depending on visual appeal and luster. Once certified, values rise significantly. A 1972 penny-graded MS-65 red can fetch anywhere from $15 to $30 on the open market. Higher grades, such as MS-66 red, can go even further, often exceeding $50, especially if the coin is visually stunning. In extremely rare cases, coins with perfect surfaces, minimal contact marks, and vibrant red color may command premium prices from collectors willing to pay for the best of the best. These examples are few and far between, and their rarity drives up the price, and of course, error coins or coins with unique die characteristics may fetch unpredictable premiums, depending on their appeal and the interest level of niche collectors. So, is the 1972 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 1-cent coin valuable? In everyday grades, not especially. But in high-end condition, absolutely. It's a coin that shows how value in numismatics is not just about rarity of production, but rarity of preservation. If you're a collector, here are a few tips. Always inspect your coins in good lighting and under magnification. Look for strong strikes, minimal marks, and good color. Avoid cleaning or polishing your coins, as this destroys the original surfaces and greatly reduces value. Consider getting high-quality examples certified if they appear to be in mint condition. Store your coins properly, in acid-free holders, away from humidity, sunlight, and contaminants, and most of all, keep learning. The more you understand about grading, rarity, and market trends, the better your chances of recognizing value others might overlook. Whether you find one of these in an old collection, a drawer, or a roll of pennies, the 1972 no-mint mark cent is a perfect example of how even the most common coin can hold unexpected worth. The 1993 Canadian 1-cent coin may look unremarkable at first glance, but it represents the tail end of an era. By the early 1990s, the Canadian penny was nearing its final decades. Production continued until 2012, but this 1993 edition was minted during a transitional period in Canadian coinage. This coin features the right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. Designed with dignity and detail, it reflects the strength and continuity of the monarchy. On the reverse, the iconic two maple leaves, a national symbol of pride, remain a familiar sight to Canadians. Struck in bronze with a smooth edge, the coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of just over 19 millimeters. The finish, detail, and color varied depending on the handling and storage over the years, giving rise to various condition grades among surviving examples. One unique characteristic of the 1993 Canadian penny is its absence of a mint mark. Unlike some coins produced in specialized branches of the mint, the 1993 penny does not display any identifying mint mark, a fact that often leads collectors to ask, is it an error, or simply standard? In truth, the no mint mark was standard for the majority of Canadian pennies at the time. Most were struck at the primary facility of the Royal Canadian Mint, and mint marks were not typically applied to regular circulation coins. So, while the lack of a mint mark may catch your eye, it is not an error in itself. However, and this is where things get interesting, certain error coins, unusual variations, and high-grade specimens within the 1993 series do stand out in the collector's market. When assessing rarity, we consider two things: how many coins were made, and how many have survived in exceptional condition. While millions of 1993 pennies were struck, the vast majority have been lost, damaged, or heavily circulated. This makes well-preserved examples harder to find, especially in uncirculated or mint state condition. There are a few things collectors should be on the lookout for when examining a 1993 Canadian penny. Die variations. Occasionally, subtle differences in design details occur due to different dies used during the striking process. These can include spacing anomalies, slight shifts in lettering, or number shape irregularities, error coins. While uncommon, some 1993 pennies have been discovered with errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, doubling of letters or digits, or planchet defects. These coins are highly collectible and can fetch a premium depending on the severity and visibility of the error, luster and coloration. Pennies come in varying degrees of color, red, red-brown, and brown, depending on oxidation and storage. Coins that retain their original red luster are more valuable and considered more desirable by collectors. Condition extremes. Coins graded in mint state condition, especially those designated MS65 or higher, are significantly rarer. Such coins show no signs of wear, sharp details, and full original luster. So, how much is a 1993 Canadian penny really worth today, in 2025? The answer varies significantly based on condition, errors, and collector demand. In circulated condition, which includes the vast majority of coins found in pocket change or coin jars, the 1993 penny generally holds little to no premium. It's typically worth only its face value. But in mint state, values start to climb. A basic uncirculated coin might fetch anywhere from a few cents up to $1. Coins in brilliant red condition with minimal marks and strong eye appeal can reach several dollars, especially when graded and authenticated. The highest premiums are reserved for coins with notable mint errors or coins that have been professionally graded at MS66 or higher. In rare cases, top-graded coins or unique errors have sold for hundreds, and in very rare instances, even thousands of dollars, particularly at auction or in specialist collections. However, it's important to remember, condition is king. A common date coin in perfect condition is often worth more than a rare date coin in poor shape. If you're sorting through your old coins or inherited a family collection, here's how to determine if your 1993 penny might be worth more than just a cent. Sharp details. Check the queen's hair, the rim, and the maple leaves. Sharpness indicates a less circulated coin. Color. Red pennies are more valuable than brown ones. Red suggests better preservation. Surface marks. The fewer the nicks and scratches, the higher the potential grade. Unusual features. Look for anything odd, doubling, cracks, or off-center elements. If you believe your coin has high potential, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. Certified coins often carry higher market value and are more easily sold or traded. The 1993 no mint mark Queen Elizabeth II Canadian 1-cent coin is not a hidden treasure by default. It was minted in large numbers, circulated widely, and has become increasingly scarce only in pristine condition. But within this humble coin lies the potential for value, whether through rarity of grade, uniqueness of error, or simple collector demand. For the patient and observant collector, even a penny can hold history, and sometimes, a bit of profit. The 1994 1-cent coin from Canada featuring Queen Elizabeth II, a coin that has more than meets the eye. Let's begin with what makes this coin unique. First, it's part of the final decades of Canadian 1-cent coin production. Canada officially ceased production of the penny in 2012, but coins like the 1994 issue still circulate in collections and coin rolls. While millions were produced, not all are created equal, especially when you begin to examine their condition, finish, and subtle variations. The 1994 Canadian 1-cent coin features the classic design that had been used for decades. On the obverse side, you'll find a right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design that honors the long-reigning monarch during a period of both national change and global influence. Surrounding her portrait are the inscriptions of her title in Latin, symbolizing Canada's historic ties to the British monarchy. On the reverse, the iconic maple leaf twig appears, a symbol of Canadian identity and unity. The denomination, 1 cent, and the word, Canada, are clearly struck, with the year, 1994, just beneath the maple leaves. This timeless design evokes both tradition and national pride, making it not just a piece of metal, but a piece of history. This particular coin was struck in bronze-plated steel or a copper composition, depending on the batch. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of about 19 millimeters. While these details might seem minor, they play a critical role in identifying the authenticity and potential value of any coin. Now let's talk about the so-called no mint mark detail. In the United States, coins often feature mint marks to identify where they were made. In Canada, However, most regular issue coins do not have a mint mark unless they're struck at a special facility or part of a special release. That means that a 1994 penny with no mint mark is, in fact, the standard circulation issue. But that doesn't mean it's worthless. In fact, the absence of a mint mark opens the door to exploring other features, like error varieties, strike anomalies, and exceptional conditions, that can drastically increase the coin's value. There have been reports of variations in the spacing of the letters on the reverse side, unusual die cracks, doubling, and off-center strikes. These varieties, if verified, can command significantly higher prices among collectors. Let's talk rarity. In 1994, the Royal Canadian Mint produced hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins. At first glance, that might make you think the coin is too common to be valuable. However, true rarity in the numismatic world isn't only about how many coins were minted, it's about how many have survived in exceptional condition. Coins that were never used in circulation, stored carefully, and preserved in brilliant uncirculated or mint state condition are far rarer than you might expect. Coins graded at MS 65 and above, especially with original red luster and no contact marks, are much harder to find than circulated examples. This scarcity in high grades is where real value lies. Additionally, mint errors, such as misaligned dies, planchet defects, or unique varieties, can create individual coins that are effectively one-of-a-kind. These become instant targets for collectors seeking the unusual. So, what determines whether your 1994 penny is worth a cent or a small fortune? Several factors come into play. First and foremost, condition is king. A coin in mint state, meaning it shows no signs of wear and maintains its original mint luster, can be worth significantly more than a well-circulated example. Second is eye appeal. Coins that have vibrant red color, smooth fields, and sharp detail are far more desirable. Red-colored copper coins are especially valued, as they indicate minimal oxidation over time. Third is rarity due to error or variation. Whether it's a doubled die, off-center strike, or unusual spacing on the lettering, verified errors make coins incredibly desirable. These coins often trade hands at auctions for much more than standard issues. Fourth, certification plays a major role. Coins that have been authenticated and graded by a professional service such as PCGS or NGC tend to command higher prices due to buyer confidence and quality assurance. Finally, market demand changes with trends. In 2025, the surge in interest around discontinued and historic Canadian currency is helping increase the value of certain coins, including pristine 1994 specimens. So what is a 1994 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 1-cent Canada coin worth in 2025? Let's break it down. Circulated coins in average condition generally hold nominal value, often selling between 1 and 10 cents, primarily to bulk copper collectors or beginner collectors. Uncirculated coins with minimal handling and strong luster can sell for anywhere from $1 to $3, depending on the exact grade and eye appeal. Coins in true mint state, especially with vibrant red color and certified by a grading company, can range from $5 to $15 or more. Exceptional examples, such as those graded MS 66 or higher, have sold for even higher amounts in private sales and auctions. Error coins or rare varieties, for example, coins with doubling or die clashes, can sell for anywhere from $20 to several hundred, depending on the type of error and the coin's overall presentation. The proof versions of this coin, which were not meant for circulation and have mirror-like surfaces, are also desirable and can fetch premium prices, particularly when housed in original packaging or as part of a complete set. If you believe you have a valuable 1994 penny, here's what you should do. First, examine the coin under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to look for any errors, doubling, or unusual spacing between letters. Second, check the condition. Does it have full luster? Has it been handled or cleaned? A coin that has been improperly cleaned loses most of its collector value. Third, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service. A certified coin not only fetches higher prices but also provides a standardized assessment that buyers trust. Fourth, do your research before selling. Check recent online auction results and listings from reputable dealers to understand what similar coins are going for in the current market. And finally, if you're new to the hobby, join a coin club or online community. You'll learn quickly from others, and sometimes, those communities are where the best trades and opportunities happen. To sum it all up, the 1994 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 1-cent Canada coin is a piece of modern Canadian numismatic history. While millions were minted, only a small fraction have survived in pristine condition. And among those, some possess errors or anomalies that make them rare and highly valuable. In 2025, collectors are paying more attention to these coins, and as demand increases and high-quality examples become harder to find, so too does their market value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just found this coin in a drawer, the story of the 1994 Canadian penny proves that even the smallest pieces of metal can hold hidden worth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Canadian coinage, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow collectors. Do you have a 1994 penny? Let us know in the comments below, and who knows, it might be worth more than you think. The 1995 1-cent piece featuring Queen Elizabeth II. Specifically, we'll be focusing on the version struck without any mint mark, a coin that has stirred curiosity among collectors and everyday people alike. Is it rare? Could it be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? What should you know about its history, and what is its actual market value today in 2025? Let's explore everything in detail. The 1995 Canadian 1-cent coin, also known as a penny, was part of Canada's regular circulating coinage. It features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, while the reverse displays the classic maple leaf twig design. This coin is made of bronze, primarily composed of copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of about 19.1 millimeters. What makes the 1995 version unique is that during this period, Canada was producing 1-cent coins with a 12-sided or dodecagonal shape. This design change, though subtle, added a distinctive feel to the coin. The edge of the coin is smooth, and its orientation is metal-aligned, meaning the top of the obverse and reverse face the same direction when flipped vertically. In terms of mintage, the 1995 1-cent coin was struck in large quantities, with over 600 million coins released into circulation. This means that in its standard form, it is not rare. However, as with all coins, factors like condition, finish, and potential error varieties play a crucial role in determining its collectability and value. Many collectors and viewers have asked about the no mint mark aspect. In Canada, most circulating coins from the 1990s were produced without a mint mark, especially those minted in Ottawa. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark on a 1995 penny is not unusual or automatically valuable. It was simply standard practice at the time. However, some people have confused this with the idea of an error or rare variety. A true no mint mark error would only be significant if a mint mark was actually expected for that issue, which it was not in this case. So, a regular 1995 penny without a mint mark is normal and does not indicate a rare variant by default. To understand the importance of this coin, we must look at it in the context of Canadian numismatics. In the mid-1990s, Canada was producing billions of coins per year. 1-cent coins were still widely used in daily transactions, and the push toward removing the penny had not yet begun. The 1995 penny represents the last decade of the 1-cent coin in active circulation before Canada eventually discontinued the denomination in 2012. As such, these coins now hold a nostalgic value, especially for collectors who focus on pre-discontinuation issues. The design on the obverse was created by Dora de Pettery Hunt, whose portrait of Queen Elizabeth II was used on Canadian coins from 1990 through 2003. The reverse design, showing the maple leaves on a twig, had already become iconic in Canadian coinage and continued to be used until the end of the penny's production. Despite the high mintage, there are still specific circumstances in which a 1995 1-cent coin could be worth far more than its face value. Let's explore the key factors that influence its market value today in 2025.1. Condition or grade. Condition is the most important factor when evaluating any coin. A heavily circulated coin with scratches, discoloration, or wear is unlikely to fetch more than a few cents at most. However, a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially one with full red copper luster, can be significantly more valuable. 2. Color and finish. Copper coins, including the 1995 penny, are graded not only by wear but also by their coloration. Coins with a full red finish, meaning the original mint luster is still intact, are more desirable. These are often labeled as red coins, while those with partially faded coloration are categorized as red-brown or brown. A full red coin in mint state can be worth several dollars or more depending on grade. 3. Strike quality and die variety. Some coins may show unusually sharp details or small differences in how they were struck. Occasionally, minor varieties exist due to differences in die wear or preparation. More significantly, if a coin displays doubling in the date, lettering, or Queen's portrait, it may be considered a double die variety, which can increase value significantly if confirmed. 4. Errors and anomalies. Coins with minting errors such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or other visible production flaws may be considered error coins. These are usually one-of-a-kind or extremely limited, and collectors often pay a premium depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Circulated coins. Most 1995 pennies found in circulation today are worth between 1 and 5 cents. In bulk, they may be sold by weight or as part of mixed lots. In general, Circulated examples hold more sentimental than monetary value unless part of a complete year set. Uncirculated coins. A 1995 1-cent coin in mint state condition can be worth anywhere from a few cents to several dollars. Coins graded as MS-63 or higher may be valued around $1 to $2. MS-64 or MS-65 red specimens may fetch $20 or more. At the high end, a fully red MS-66 coin could sell for $75 or higher depending on demand and the presence of any unique traits, error coins or rare varieties. If a genuine error or variety is confirmed, the value could rise significantly. A clear double die or off-center strike in uncirculated condition might be valued in the hundreds of dollars, depending on the rarity and the market's interest. However, such coins must be authenticated and ideally graded by a professional service to realize their full value. If you own a 1995 Canadian penny and believe it may be valuable, there are several steps you can take to preserve its condition and potentially sell it for a premium. Handle the coin carefully, preferably by the edges, and avoid touching the surfaces. Do not clean the coin, as cleaning can significantly reduce its value to collectors. Store it in a coin flip, acid-free envelope, or protective capsule to avoid corrosion or damage. For those looking to sell, consider taking detailed photographs under good lighting and submit the coin for grading if it appears to be in exceptional condition. Auction platforms, coin shows, and online marketplaces are all viable options, but having a certified grade will give buyers more confidence and may help you achieve a higher sale price. To sum it up, the 1995 Canadian 1-cent coin without a mint mark is generally common in circulated condition, but it holds historical and sentimental value for many Canadians. In exceptional condition, or when part of a rare error or variety, this otherwise humble penny can become a collector's item worth significantly more than its face value. While not every 1995 penny is rare or valuable, a few key characteristics, such as full red color, mint state preservation, or confirmed minting errors, can elevate its status in the world of coin collecting. If you have one in your collection, take a closer look. You might just be holding a little piece of numismatic history. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into coins, currency, and collectibles. Let us know in the comments if you own a 1995 penny, or if you'd like us to explore another coin in a future video. Until next time, keep collecting and happy hunting.